Welcome to the Mentally Whole podcast. I am your host, Lauren Green. This podcast is a safe place for us to have weekly discussions about mental health, Christ, personal development, and the tools to live our best lives. Please stay tuned for a new episode. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Mentally Whole podcast. I am your host, Lauren Green, and this is episode 23. Don't forget to subscribe, share, rate, review the podcast, and share this podcast with someone who you think would benefit from the information. And also in the show notes, don't forget to fill out the listeners survey. All right. So I hope you guys are enjoying the Love Jones series as much as I am. We've had two powerful interviews these past 2 weeks, one about celibacy with my best friend Shelby India, and another episode about a father's love for us with my other friend Ashley Necole. All right, so I'm going to put the links to those episodes in the show notes because I want you guys to get all the nuggets and all the tea from both those episodes, right? Right. So we're just going to dive right into our discussion of the day. So today we are talking about love languages. You might have heard of them. You might not have heard of them. So this amazing Dr. Gary Chapman came up with the concept of love languages, right? And in his popular book, he outlines the 5 ways we express and experience love between romantic partners. Now, I want to say before we move on that, these languages solely aren't not conducive, but they're not you don't have to use them just in a romantic relationship. You can use them in friendships. You can use them in parental relationships. It's more to this than just romantic partners. And so, I love a good article. So I have an article pulled up here about the psychology behind love languages. So when you take the love languages test, your highest two sections of the test basically are your primary and secondary love languages. I've taken this test probably 3 times. I took it once last year and I took it again this year for the episode. And both of the love languages that you score the highest in reflect both how you give love and how you receive it, right? So the first love language we're going to talk about is gift giving, right? So when a person's love language is gift giving, they thrive on the love, thoughtfulness, and effort behind the gift, right? So this person gives love through gift giving, right? And they really enjoy when other people give them gifts, right? And this article that I found is that usually a lot of times we identify, no, not that part. Oh, so it says experts suggest that the entire act of gift giving, from the thought, the careful choosing of a tangible item to represent the relationship, and finally to the actual giving itself, elicits the feelings of affection toward another person, right? Giving a gift also increases feelings of satisfaction and helps to reinforce relationships by positively acknowledging each other, right? And I also, when I think of gift giving, when that person gives you, any person gives you a really thoughtful gift and really pays attention to what you like and what you don't like, it's just they've been observing, they've been taking notes. I like this. Come on, take notes. It shows that they really are paying attention and listening to you. Even if gift giving isn't your love language, but when someone gives you that gift and it's wow, they really thought about this. They really put effort into this. They just didn't give me just something they just saw in the store and thought that I would like it, but they really took the time to consider what I would like. Right? Right. So the next love language is quality time. I love this one myself personally. So quality time means full, undivided attention. Uninterrupted time. A person whose love language is quality time, they struggle when their partner is distracted, or activities are postponed, or the other person doesn't listen to them, right? Because when you think of quality time, you think of full, undivided attention and uninterrupted time, right? So it doesn't mean, you sit there on social media, or you sit there, reading a book or whatever. You're fully engrossed in that moment when quality time is your love language, right? And quality time can be a love language expressed by anyone, right? And you can, spend quality time with people that you are not you can express quality time with people who you are not in a romantic relationship with, right? The next one is physical touch, right? So physical touch basically means thoughtful touches that show excitement, concern, care, and love, right? Touches communicate warmth, safety, and love, right? The physical touch love language is more important than we probably realize. So touch is the first language we use to communicate as infants, right? It plays a critical role in social and behavioral development, right? So as soon as a baby is born, where do they put the baby? They put the baby right on the mama's chest, right? To bond. Also, touch is crucial in creating and strengthening romantic relationships. Tactile physical affection or touch is highly correlated with the overall relationship and partner satisfaction, right? And oftentimes conflict resolution is easier when there's physical affection, somewhere, around the time of the conflict. Or like, for example, if you're mad at your boo, right? You mad at him, or you're mad at her, because I do have male listeners, or you're mad at her, as soon as that person give you a hug or, a kiss, you just be like, I ain't that mad no more. You feel me? Touch is a powerful love language. Amen. The next love language is words of affirmation. So words of affirmation really involves verbal communication that is encouraging, affirmative, active, and appreciative, right? So when you think of words of affirmation, think of compliments, praise, saying I love you, I appreciate you. And also, if your love language is words of affirmation, insults are not good for this type of person. And when I think of words of affirmation, I think of, writing sweet notes, letters. What else I think of that a person of words of affirmation would enjoy? Sweet text messages, all the cutesy, handwritten, written, or even spoken affirmations. So our last love language is acts of service. So acts of service is doing helpful or thoughtful deeds as a way to give love and feel loved. With acts of service, you help to ease the burden of responsibilities. When another person serves you, you feel valued and loved, right? Acts of service is doing something for your spouse or your friend that they would like for you to do. Right? Right. And the thing about relationships and relationships, and especially romantic relationships, you have to serve the other person, right? You have to be unselfish in a romantic relationship. So if you guys are wondering how you find out your love languages, you go to the website that I'll have in the description and take the test. It's about 30 questions. It shouldn't take you that long. And then they will email you what your love languages are. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I will see you guys next week.